Thank you for your valuable company. You are watching EBN Prime Edition. Well, quite what happened there, what was said in that particular fete, and much more making headlines across the country. But first, the day's top stories. Tradition, pomp and color as Kenya celebrates 60 years of independence at Uhuru Gardens.
Proudly, these sacrifices have paid off.
Bag of goodies for Kenyans. President William Ruto commits to making Kenya a better country. Faith Kipyegon Ferdinand Omanyala feted with state honorary titles as Kipyegon is celebrated globally. Well, be part of this broadcast. You can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube on EBN TV. Our SMS feedback line is 23059. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's kick off Prime Edition. Now we kick it off from Uhuru Gardens, where hundreds of Kenyans today trooped to Uhuru Gardens in the celebration of the nation's 60th day of 60 years of independence. The celebrations were depicted at its best as the occasion was mixed with appreciations of culture and various entertainment groups and patriotic song writers and singers. Our reporter Dennis Toromo has the full story about the pomp and color of the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations.
Hundreds of Kenyans trooped Uhuru Gardens to mark the nation's 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations, where patriotism was depicted at its best in various colors, as many turned to adorned in national colors and armed flags to witness an occasion that was combined of a mixed appreciations of culture, heritage and splendor.
Kwa sherehe ya Jamhuri, wapi shangwe na vigelegele, peperusha bendera, tumkaribishe Daktari William Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Riding on a ceremonial vehicle, President William Ruto arrived at the packed stadium at 9:30 a.m. to a rapturous song by ceremonial trumpet of the Kenya Defence Forces, amid rousing cheers from the crowd. The highlight of the ceremony was the entertainment by various groups, including the recent TV shows actors in Kenya, that is the Churchill Group, Inspector Mwala, Mother-in-Law Show, Vihoja Mahakamani, and also the digital creative groups.
Leo ni siku ya Jamhuri bwana, national holiday. Alafu unavaa nguo ni kama imetoka kwa mdomo ya ng'ombe. Kukuja kujana.
Wewe uone mimi ni Mkenya bwana. Uone nimevaa mpaka tai ya Kenya.
Kama vile umesikia, mimi ni mjane, niko single, niko vacant, yani sina mutu. Mtukufu Rais, uko na marafiki zako ambao wako single kama mimi, hata kwa cabinet uko nao. Mtukufu Rais, unikumbuke.
Miaka mingi nina uzoefu wa kutosha. Ninachokuomba kwa sasa ni kuwa uniteue kama mkuu wa kitengo chako.
Nguo kemikali yangu special. Kama ngapata pesa kidogo, minga mwaya ili kemikali ndani ya pesa, tapata pesa bingi. Singalipa deni IMF, ngalipa deni World Bank. Kama pesa ngabaki, singawagawana Kenya mzima. Kila mtu 2 million.
In the pomp of the celebrations, the patriotic song singers also on the verge of the show with the sweet song entertaining the crowd.
Naishi natumaini najitolea daima Kenya, hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani, daima mimi Kenya, wananchi mzalendo.
During President William Ruto's speech, he embraces the digital creative teams who uses the social media to earn, to continue with the digital online entertainment and enhancing creativity and innovation.
I have good news for our creatives and those who imagine and produce content through Facebook and Instagram. Just yesterday, Meta committed to helping creators in Kenya earn money for crafting original content. Following a pilot program with eligible creators in the country, Meta will be expanding monetization opportunities and allowing more creators to earn a living doing what they love.
Toromo Dennis, EBN TV, Prime Edition.
Right, quite the ceremony we had today, or we have witnessed across the country, not just at Uhuru Gardens. But now let's take a look at what was said during the Jamhuri Day celebrations. Now, President William Ruto on Tuesday said that Kenya has emerged out of debt distress, touting his economic policies despite public anger over tax hikes and slash subsidies as the country marked its 60th independence anniversary. East Africa's economic powerhouse has been struggling to manage multiple challenges, including depleted government coffers, high inflation, and plunging currency that has sent debt repayment costs soaring. Now, Kenya had accumulated more than 10.1 trillion shillings in debt, that is approximately $66 billion by the end of June, according to the Treasury figures, equivalent to around 2/3 of the gross domestic product, GDP.
We have had to make our contribution to the struggle for the nation's economic sovereignty. We have had to cut back significantly on expenditure and to defer the implementation of critical development programs to stabilize our economy. The policy measures required to mobilize necessary revenues have been difficult, but they were our only way and means of escape. Though painful, the sacrifices we have made, which would not only make our freedom fighters proud, are also absolutely necessary at a time as this and in situations that we find ourselves, and is the guarantee of our nation's economic stability. Proudly, these sacrifices have paid off. I can now confirm, without fear of any contradiction, that Kenya is safely out of the danger of debt distress and that our economy is on a stable footing.
To matters graft, President William Ruto has pledged the government's commitment in fighting corruption in the country as he assured Kenyans that all taxes will be accounted for. While speaking at the Jamhuri celebrations, the head of state has urged all government agencies to transit to the e-citizen platform as a means to curb wasteful spending and corruption within government agencies. Government institutions have until 31st of December to convert to the government's pay bill.
We are therefore taking strong measures to ensure that all public resources are administered transparently, efficiently, and in a secure manner. One of our best interventions is the use of digital technology and the migration of all government services and revenue collection to a single pay bill. Since this measure was implemented, we have witnessed a significant rise in total revenues collected. Besides enhancing revenue collection, digitization has eliminated revenue leakage through corruption and theft. It is most important that we sustain this progress in promoting integrity, transparency, and efficiency in resource management. And for this reason, I direct that all agencies observe the December 31st deadline to finalize the migration to e-citizen platform. It is only right that I match this admirable commitment by the people of Kenya to do their part in getting the economy going and give an assurance that all taxes collected by government shall be put to their intended use and that no single shilling, no Kenyan shilling, shall be lost through embezzlement, theft, or corruption. I urge our justice, law and order institutions led by the judiciary and the anti-corruption agencies to discharge their mandate without fear, favor, ill will, or prejudice.
Now, visitors to Kenya from across the world will no longer require a visa from January of 2024, President William Ruto said on Tuesday. And Ruto said his government had developed a digital platform to ensure all visitors would receive an electronic travel authorization in advance instead of needing to apply for a visa.
That Kenya is the home of humanity is a scientific fact that fills us with pride and underscores our rich heritage. It is with great pleasure, as President of this extraordinary country, to make a historic announcement of the decision of the government of Kenya. Beginning January 2024, Kenya will be a visa-free country. It shall no longer be necessary for any person from any corner of the globe to carry the burden of applying for a visa to come to Kenya. To echo the call of the Turkana people to the world, Tobongu Lore, a simple message to humanity: welcome home. This is why the government of Kenya has abolished the requirement of visas for all visitors. To implement this new policy, we have developed a digital platform to ensure that all travelers to Kenya are identified in advance on an electronic platform. Consequently, all travelers will obtain electronic travel authorization as they come to Kenya.
Zanzibar President Hussein Mwinyi, Burundi Vice President Prosper Bazombanza, and Ethiopian President Sahle Work Zewde attended Kenya's 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations at the Uhuru Gardens. Let's listen in to a sneak peek of their speech.
As you know, in Africa, we gained political independence by liberating ourselves from the dark period of colonization. But another important fight must continue: the economic and technological Jamhuri. We must lead this fight with determination, unity, and self-confidence as Africans.
60 years is indeed a milestone. I have been, as I said, a witness of the great progress that Kenya has made since its independence. I would like to wish you success and prosperity and happiness to the great people of Kenya, which is an extraordinary host for whoever comes to this country.
Uhusiano kati ya Tanzania na Kenya ni wa muda mrefu na wa kihistoria. Sio tu kwamba sisi ni majirani, bali pia wananchi wetu ni ndugu na utamaduni unaofanana. Hii ndio sababu ni vigumu sana kumtofautisha Mmasai, Mdigo, Mjaluo, Mkuria na Msegeji wa Kenya na wale wa upande wa Tanzania. Wote wanazungumza lugha moja. Hivyo hii yote inadhihirisha kuwa sisi ni ndugu na ni wamoja.
Now, let's talk a bit about history. The Jamhuri Day celebrations upon us and is one of the most delightful performances Kenyans usually look forward to during this ceremony is the music and marching presented by the Kenya Defence Forces. The performance, known as the Trooping of the Colour, has been known to indeed make the event colourful, if not amazing. Well, our reporter Consolata Chibalonza did some digging into the event, and this is her report on the history of the Trooping of the Colour.
Jamhuri Day is a national holiday in Kenya, celebrated on the 12th of December each year. Jamhuri is Swahili word for republic, officially marks the date when Kenya became an independent country since 12th December 1963, 6 months after gaining internal self-rule on 1st June 1963, celebrated as Madaraka Day from the United Kingdom. Kenya later became a republic with the inauguration of Jomo Kenyatta as president taking place on the 12th of December 1964, exactly 1 year after Kenya attained independence in 1963. Kenyatta, having been previously sworn in as Prime Minister, continued as Prime Minister of newly independent Kenya before assuming the position of President 1 year after Independence Day. Today, we'll look at a ceremony that has always been occasioned during this monumental day, the trooping of the color of the Kenya Defence Forces. The trooping of the colour is a practice held in high esteem by the Kenya Defence Forces, initiated by the British Army. Regimental flags of the British Army were historically described as colours because they displayed the uniform colours and insignia worn by the soldiers of different units. The name colour continues to be used to this day. The principal role of a regiment's colour was to provide a rallying point on the battlefield. This was important because without modern communication, it was all too easy for troops to become disoriented and separated from their unit during conflict. The ceremony of trooping the colour is believed to have been performed first during the reign of King Charles II, that is in 1660 to 1685. In 1748, it was decided that this parade would be used to mark the official birthday of the monarch, and it became an annual event after George III became king in 1760.
Escort for the colour and close order, left, just.
The trooping of the colour of the Kenya Defence Forces takes place every Jamhuri Day. The ceremony begins at 11:30 a.m. after the President of Kenya takes the national salute and inspects the parade. The band plays a slow march followed with a quick march. The lone drummer then breaks away to take his position beside number 1 guard to play the drummer's call, signaling the officers of number 1 guard to take positions to receive the colour. The escort for the colour then marches off to collect the colour as the massed KDF band plays the chosen Kenyan tune. After the handover and as the escort presents arms, the first verse of the Kenya national anthem is played. Then the escort to the colour marches off in a slow march to the tune of the British Grenadier Guards. The first tune normally played during the march is always by Land and Sea. The parade concludes by marching to the tune of Kenya Daima as the tri-service parade exits.
Parade will march up into divisions. Clear duties. By the left. Quick march.
Jamhuri Day is occasionally also used by the military to grant infantry battalions their formal presidential and regimental colors. The honored unit, upon being conferred the colors, proceeds with the trooping of the color. In such a ceremony, the president as commander-in-chief is formally dressed in ceremonial regalia, that is the Kenya Army red tunic dress as seen during the 55th Jamhuri celebrations, in which Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was the then president. And once the flags are consecrated by an Anglican bishop, a Catholic bishop, and a Muslim Qadi, the president formally hands the colors to two flag bearers who receive them when down on one knee. As you enjoy your Jamhuri Day today, do it with a patriotic smile and wide understanding of the happenings on the field in which the president stands in. Consolata Chibalonza, on behalf of EBN TV, happy Jamhuri Day.
Well, thank you, Chibalonza, for that trip down to memory lane. Double Olympic champion and women's 1500-meter world record holder Faith Kipyegon was on Tuesday conferred with the highest state honor, the Order of the Golden Heart, by President William Ruto, and she broke the 1500-meter world record in Florence on June 2nd when she clocked 3 minutes 49.1 seconds, breaking Ethiopia's Genzebe Dibaba's record of 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And she later on also broke the 5,000-meter world record by clocking 14 minutes and 5.2 seconds in Paris Diamond League, barely 8 days after shattering the 1,500-meter record. The 800-meter world champion Mary Moraa, 100-meter African champion Ferdinand Omanyala, world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum, and world's crowned rising stars Emmanuel Wanyonyi, as well as Faith Cherotich, will also be feted.
The rank and status of Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart, the highest honor our country awards its citizens who illuminate the path of excellence. She has earned her place at the very top, from running barefoot to breaking 2 world records within a year, is the ultimate stage of heroism. Faith's journey is an inspiration to all our young and aspiring athletes. I equally salute Ferdinand Omanyala, Mary Moraa, Kelvin Kiptum, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, Faith Cherotich, who have also registered their presence in the world stage, and they too will be feted.
Well, it is not just athletes who are also feted, but also cabinet secretaries, as well as members of parliament and governors across various counties were feted with President William Ruto. Now let's completely switch focus away from what happened during the Jamhuri Day celebrations. And Honorable Justice Justin Muturi, the Attorney General, represented President William Ruto during the celebrations of the Human Rights Day on the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration. During his presentation, he highlighted the pledges which the government has declared to establish. Now, this hybrid global event links regional hubs in Nairobi, Bangkok, and Panama with the Palais des Nations in Geneva.
Pledges have been born out of a series of regional, national, and individual community shared and lived experiences and dreams. They form the basis of our commitments. From this rich tapestry of voices, 4 key human rights pledges emerged, which we firmly commit to implementing. 1. A national human rights policy and action plan. We pledge to develop a comprehensive national human rights policy and action plan dedicated to enhancing the realization and enjoyment of rights and fundamental freedoms for all Kenyans. 2. Transitioning to clean energy. Recognizing our global responsibility, we pledge to achieve a complete transition to clean energy sources by 2030, contributing significantly to climate change mitigation efforts and sustainable development. 3rd, criminalizing enforced disappearances. We pledge to enact comprehensive domestic legislation that explicitly criminalizes enforced disappearances and establishes robust mechanisms for prevention, investigation, prosecution, and victim support.
Now, not so good news for the gospel industry, where renowned musician Zahara, that is born Bulelwa Mkutukana, has tragically died at the age of 35. The multi-award-winning artist breathed her last at a private hospital in Johannesburg on Monday night. The news was confirmed by South African Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Zizi Kodwa, who expressed his deep sorrow on social media. According to reports, Zahara had been hospitalized a week prior, shortly after celebrating her birthday on November 9th. The hospitalization followed the payment of her bride price by her fiancé, Mfo Zaba. A statement released by the family a week ago read, and I quote, "Zahara has been admitted to the hospital following a week of complaints about physical pains, and the doctors are working diligently as they await further updates from the family." And Zahara lost her life on Monday night. Well, quite tragic, and we do condole with the families and friends of the popular musician whose music has impacted quite a lot of souls to date. Embu leaders have urged the national government to intervene by supporting the county government of Embu in its plan to provide enough water for the Mbere that is semi-arid. Embu County Governor Cecily Mbarire noted that the funds to the counties cannot be enough to complete mega water projects to quench the thirsts of Mbere.
Chukue hii nafasi, Your Excellency, ni kushukuru wewe na President William Ruto. Why? Mimi nimekuwa mbunge miaka 20. Ukweli, nilikuwa katika serikali ya Kibaki na nikakuwa katika serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Na sasa niko katika serikali ya William Ruto. Lakini ile support nimeona sisi watu wa Embu tumepata tangu tuingie. Na sio mimi governor peke yangu, including the MPs. Kutoka kwa serikali ya William Ruto na wewe Deputy President, mimi nataka kukuambia asanti sana. And we believe, kwa sababu mwaka ndio umeisha, na tumeona vile mumetushikilia, na tumekuja kwa maofisi yenu tukiwa na wambunge na tukasikia ile maneno, tukasema maneno yetu, malalamishi yetu, mukaichukulia kwa uzito. Mimi nataka kuwashukuru. Na ningetaka kuambia hivi, shida kubwa sana ambayo tuko nayo hapa, especially hapa Mbere North na Mbere South, ni maji. Kanateguo. Na pia hata ukienda pande ya Runyenjes, Manyata, pia maji ya kulima inahitajika. Na ndio maana sisi tunasisitiza damu zetu 3. Damu ya Dhambana ambayo iko pande ya Manyata na ambayo itapatia maji kule Mbere South. Damu ya Dhoshi ambayo itapatia Runyenjes na ipatie part of Mbere North maji. Na maji ya Kamomo Dam hapa Mbere North ambayo itasaidia sehemu ingine ya
From the sports desk tonight, Kenya's Faith Kipyegon flew Kenya's flag high at the World Athletics Awards held in Monte Carlo in Monaco in France on Monday night. And Kipyegon, who attended the World Athletics Gala 2023, won the Athlete of the Year award. After breaking the 1500-meter and 5000-meter world records in 2023, Kipyegon stormed to gold over both distances in the 2023 World Athletics Championships. Kenyan long-distance runner and marathon world record holder Kelvin Kiptum won the World Athlete of the Year men's out of stadia category. Faith Cherotich and Emmanuel Wanyonyi also made Kenyans proud after they swept the Rising Stars of the Year awards. Wanyonyi, the world under-20 800-meter champion, capped his season with the silver from the 2023 World Championships and the Diamond League trophy. He achieved all this at the age of 19.
Olympic champion, a world champion. She's done both of those things twice before, but She's never broken the world record. It's an incredible world record. Faith Kipyegon charging to the line. Is it going to be a world record? Yes, it is! She smashed it! Everybody standing up around us. Faith Kipyegon yet again finds another gear. Florence last weekend over 1,500 meters. Here in Paris over 5,000. What a talent! What a performance! It's a world record!
Wow, I'm so proud of myself. You know, to have achieved what I achieved this year was magnificent. It was a dream come true from a long time ago. So I'm so proud of myself.
Well, what a proud nation we are tonight. Congratulations to all the 4 champions that were crowned last night. Intercity FC from Tebere Ward has been crowned as the winner of the Governor Anne Waiguru's 1 million shillings grand prize football tournament. Intercity won the 2-month-long tournament in a nail-biting 3-2 penalty shootout at the Wanguru Stadium in Mwea constituency against Thumaita FC from Kiine Ward. The team was awarded 1 million shillings grand prize by Governor Anne Waiguru before a crowd of about 20,000 spectators. The defining moment came when the game ended in a barren draw, prompting the referee to call for a penalty shootout.
Togo tunapenda ball. Hii ball imetudrive pamoja, tumekam pamoja. Sisi huku tao tunaichezanga na heart. That's why tumekuwa united hadi hapa mwisho. Tunaweza taka hii ligi iendelee sana. Inatuleta pamoja, inatusaidia tusiende kwa vitu zingine mbaya, inatupatia yani morali ya kucheza ball. So mimi napenda iendelee. Tunashukuru sana gavana wetu kwa kutuletea ligi kama hii, imetusaidia sana. Naweza sema imetusaidia sana.
Nashukuru sana, hii tona imekuwa mzuri since tuanze, na tunashukuru gavana wetu kwa kuremember kwanza wasichana kwa football, though tunataka pia watu wa Harambee Starlets wakuje wa showcase, tumeshowcase talent yetu, wakuje wa scout hapa nje kuna talent, si ndio? Na tunataka wakuje wa showcase, na mimi nashukuru gavana wetu sana kwa support amepea vijana hapa nje youth, tumeshowcase talent yetu.
Now to some news on the global stage. Domestic football in Turkey has been suspended indefinitely after one of the country's top referees was punched to the ground by a club president following a Super League match on Monday. Match official Halil Umut Meler was approached on the pitch and hit by MKE Ankaraguku president Faruk Kosa, sparking chaotic scenes as players and officials joined the melee or tried to intervene. Meller had sent off one player from each side, then allowed an equalizer for opponents Rizespor in the 7th minute of the injury time to force a 1-1 draw. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was quoted in Turkish media condemning the attack, and the Turkish Football Federation swiftly announced the suspension. In a statement, it blamed the despicable attack on a years-long toxic culture towards referees that it said had been fostered by many players and club officials. Well, indeed, sad scenes from Turkish League, even as FIFA President Gianni Infantino has also condemned that particular attack. Well, this is a developing story that I'm sure FIFA will be able to take drastic measures on the alleged attackers. However, I hope that you had a fantastic Jamhuri Day and that you are ready to roll once again tomorrow. Now do join me on Morning Live at 7 a.m. I'll be in studio with experts just to analyze what President William Ruto said today, as well as what didn't he say. Well, that conversation is for tomorrow very early on Morning Live. For now, my name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a wonderful night.